Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's Barre and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too, and many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, they're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yeah, controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression, so remember you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anitta if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Welcome back to our Saturday's live stream with the Resurgence guys. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Steve, for joining me today. I'm so excited about today's topic, guys, because I did watch your episode on Wednesday. I had to rewatch it on Thursday because I missed the first part of it. And today's episode is going to be based on that, and we are going to talk about the fake masculine man or the pseudo-masculinity. And yeah, guys, first of all, how are you doing? Are you excited about the topic?
Oh, yeah. We're waiting to see how you go off today.
Yeah, I did send Nick a few articles on the facial cues because this is the topic that I wrote a research paper back in college when I was studying psychology and mass media also. I was writing about how men can look like women and they in fact behave like women. And it was like 15 years ago or longer. That's when I was in college. And I was trying to find exactly the same study that I was basing my research on, because it was showing you multiple faces, and based on how many masculine or feminine cues you add to the face, it will alter the shape of the face. And you could see that if you take initially a masculine face and then introduce the feminine cues into the face, eventually a man will look like a woman. That was a fascinating study, guys. I was trying to find it and I couldn't. I'll keep looking for it. So maybe one day we'll just do a show on that, because I think it would be an interesting topic. And if anybody has encountered that study, please reach out, DM me on Instagram or send me an email, okay? So yeah. Well, first of all, guys, let's see, what is a masculine man? We'll start with the definition.
Simple.
Mm-hmm.
A man with his own code of conduct, call it his own morality. Now, there is a general morality, but I'm talking about his beliefs.
Okay.
He acts according to that without seeking or needing approval from others.
Mm-hmm.
That's my simple definition.
Okay. I'll 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 add something to that. I think this is I'll go rooted from the patriarchy. So I'm going to
Mhm.
go how God created mankind, male and female. So man has an independent job. Doesn't mean he doesn't necessarily want or need the female, but he can still, he had his mission before the female was created. So he's a man on a mission. He has a purpose. Um,
Mhm.
he also has authority, power. He's to be a protector, but also when you include the woman in the picture, he's also a ruler, protector, provider. But he has aggression. He has purpose. Doesn't mean he's like violent, but only when absolutely necessary, like in self-defense or to protect his family.
Yeah.
Okay. On
Mhm.
that creation story. So the woman was not created because a man needed a boss. Is that what you're saying?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. And also, a woman was not created so a man could exploit her. She was not created for exploitation either.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, gee, why do women have such a problem with staying between those two boundaries? You're not the boss,
Uh,
and you're not to be exploited. You know what?
that's what
Just
happened.
exist in the
You
middle.
just got to one more chapter, Steve. That's the answer. One more chapter over. Chapter 3 of Genesis.
Okay.
So what does
Oh, he
the chapter 3
tempt,
tell us?
well, he went to the weaker vessel first to get at
Mhm.
the larger vessel. So he used man's feelings and love for his wife against his love for God. So therefore, he subverted the created order. He subverted the patriarchy, and he pitted the wife and husband against one another. And now she tries to take the place of man, but he rules over her, according to Genesis chapter 3.
Oh wow, so who did it? Did God do it?
No, Satan.
No. Satan, I was thinking,
The
yeah,
serpent. The
the
serpent
serpent. Yeah, the
found the
serpent.
weakness in the
Hmm.
weaker vessel to exploit the weakness in the man,
Right.
which was he chose the woman over God. He chose to listen to the woman instead of listening to God and uh, fulfilling his responsibility and his authority to act morally because he listened to the woman. Gee, do modern men listen to the woman in
Yes.
order to be liked or get laid?
Mm-hmm. And it usually doesn't work out.
Of course it doesn't.
Neither one does it.
Simping doesn't work out. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Well, and there are different stages of simping. There are the guys who just, outright worship women. They do what women tell them to do. They have no frame. There are some guys, and this is what I noticed also even here in the manosphere. Some guys, they have game. Okay, they know how to game women. They've probably read some pickup artist books, or they have been in the red pill for some time, but they still are appeasing to women. By their actions, by their behavior, they still want, oh man, you man up, you do better. It's another form of simping.
So is this the accountability question where you place all the accountability on the man and you ignore the accountability of the woman
Yeah,
and you just say, man up, man up, man up. But at the same time, you can't control the woman. So maybe they've given up on saying you need to try to change these 304s and saying, well, this is what you can control yourself.
Okay, I want to build off mostly what Elena said.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's been something I've said for many, many years. I told this to my ex-wife. Okay, a fact is women are pliable. Which means they're influenceable. Okay, is that a better word?
Yeah.
Women will be influenced by society, by other women. Therefore, a woman can be and should be influenced by men. Primarily, it's her husband's job to influence her, be the biggest influence on her life, in her life. So, yeah, he can't control her, but he can influence her.
Right.
And that means she's pliable. And so she will, well, in general, she will follow. Not all women. Okay, we're not talking absolutes here, but in general, she will. So if he's on his purpose, his mission, he maintains authority. When he needs to maintain that, remember, she's pliable, she's going to change. He holds fast to his beliefs and what's going to happen. Which, okay, I'm going to use some other words that are triggering. By doing that, he's kind of, on a micro scale, in opposition to her. He's putting her in her place, not as the boss babe, but as the helper to the man. He is in submission. Her mission is under his mission. Therefore, it's a submission to his mission. So, yeah, okay. So he's rightly done. He's putting her in her place, which is where she should be, and actually where she'll be happiest. But it's not controlling, it's not domineering, it's just he's not controlling her. He's just staying on his purpose. Now, okay, the flip side of that is, okay, these pseudo-masculine men who want to bed women, have their fun. Yes, you can game women to excite their emotions and create tingles to have your way with them. And they will willingly want that. But yes, game is influence. So game can be used for good purposes or bad purposes. So to you guys out there, married men, oh, I shouldn't have to game my wife. Yes, you do. Because you have to influence her. You have to maintain your position. That influence is game. Now, to you single guys, yeah, you can use game to sleep with a lot of women.
Yeah.
And that's actually a suit out actually from, see, the RP and I would disagree on this. Well, some in the RP. The RP is not doesn't really go there. Yeah, we might have arguments back and forth, but it's not a solid position in the RP. But from a Christian perspective, I would call that pseudo-masculinity. Not gaming women, but using it to be like a seducer and sleep around, because then you're actually, if you're just going around sleeping around, you're actually not in control of yourself. You're living for pleasure.
This is what I was thinking too, Nick, because these
And
are the
that can
main.
actually,
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
actually,
Go ahead.
I was gonna actually, that on the flip side, like on Wednesday,
Mhm.
that can actually be considered part of the effeminacy. So if you're all about the pickup artistry, the flashy clothes, appearing like a machismo man just to bed women, that's actually another form of, could be considered effeminacy, a weak man, because you're actually not in control of yourself. You're 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 seized by your desire for pleasure in women.
Yeah. And you game women using the female tactics. I actually wanted to show you the article where women love men who represent some feminine qualities because they see the resemblance in them, and like using it just to fuck women. Yeah, I would agree with you. It's not having a frame, because you are still falling under the female thinking. And yeah, just because women are all messed up and their priorities have shifted, they don't know what a masculine man is, so they view this man as nice and comforting and like pleasant to be around with. And I'm talking about these macho guys who fuck a lot of women. It's not a good sign, but we will get into this. So okay, here the article is "Why Effeminate Men Steal Your Girl." Let's look at it.
Okay.
Mhm. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to zoom it, guys. I will read it. Okay.
You go to the top right corner. Is it a slide or a
Oh,
website?
okay. Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, slides. I don't know how to zoom. Okay.
Yeah, this one I'm not so sure. Well, okay. Probably one of the biggest refrains in the manosphere is that women are attracted to masculinity and are looking for masculine guys. Obviously, this is true. But what is also true, yet forgotten to discuss, is that women can also be attracted to effeminate guys. Indeed, they are also seduced by them. The struggling artist, the emo musician, Europeans, women have a thing for them, even when they are not successful. It's not fame. So, what is it? Some have claimed it's because women feel more comfortable around guys who act more feminine. They are more sensitive, they are better communicators. True, right? They have.
No,
I don't know.
No, I mean, like, but like, if you look at how women view them, oh, this guy is so sweet. He communicates better.
No, they're a
He
nice.
sucks up to her emotions and affirms her emotions.
Yeah, guys,
That
I
is
know
what
that.
she's.
I know
Okay.
that. But from like female
You caught that too,
standpoint,
Steve.
from the female standpoint, it kind of makes sense, right? So here, some have claimed it's because women feel more comfortable around guys who act more feminine. They are more sensitive. They are better communicators. They have better fashion sense and grooming. Oh, okay. Seops have taken this observation further and claimed that these are really the most attractive guys to women. Perhaps there is some level of truth to this, but it's more incidental at the end of the day. The real reason women can be attracted to feminine men is because feminine behavior brings out a woman's own femininity. I know this is a heavy statement, so let's take a moment to break this down. The reality is that a lot of women are not fully connected to their femininity anymore, which is why a man who is comfortable being sexual with a woman, yet also able to understand the feminine mystique, can make listen can make a woman not only feel understood. Yeah, but this is like there is like, I actually agree with this statement, but can help you feel more like a woman.
No,
From a like if you
this is
look at it.
feminist delusional bullshit.
I know, Nick, but if you look at it as a feminist, right? If you look at it as a woman, for
Well, as
example,
a deluded person.
yeah.
No,
And the
if you're
more
deluded, anything can make sense, right?
and the more feminine a woman feels around you, the more attracted to you she will be. Of course, this is bullshit, right? But this is how women actually think. I think this article points it out really well, because the more feminine a woman feels, the more at home with her true nature she will be, and the more self-esteem she will correspondingly have. Conversely, the less anchored a person is in their sex, the less confidence they feel. Read between the lines. Not a surprise we have such a mental health epidemic today. Ah,
So can I defend?
Okay,
Can I defend this or go into the truth behind this?
yeah.
Okay. Based on women's fantasies, we know that a lot of women, normal, average, typical women,
Mhm.
do have some same-sex attraction for other women. It's very my perception is, yeah, that's fairly common. It's not so common in men, but
Mhm.
in women it is. So their desire, they have some desire for the feminine. And then when they dress fashionably, long painted nails. Men don't give a shit. But they're doing that to impress other women.
Yeah.
The earrings, the hair, all that is kind of to appeal to other women. Because the majority of men probably don't care. I don't care.
I care
Yeah.
about hair. I don't like the short butch look. It's unfeminine.
Okay, yeah, okay, long hair, but that's simple. Okay,
Yeah,
how about
pretty
big
much.
hoop earrings, Nick?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that where I'm at right now working. Let's put it that way. That's part of the
Okay,
part,
so
part of the
you know,
culture.
just
Yeah, I don't.
some
It's a red flag.
simple stud earrings, gold, diamond, whatever. Okay, yeah, just tasteful. Okay, but women are appealing to other women. So, and also, they don't talk about artificial hormonal contraception in here.
There we
Mhm.
go.
When women are on contraception, hormonal contraception, their brain is acting like a pregnant brain.
Yeah.
Then they're looking for more comfort rather than dominance. So that's reflected in here. The other
Oh,
thing that's missing here is women are not simple creatures.
Mhm.
Sometimes they want dominance. Sometimes they want comfort. Sometimes they want to be affirmed. Sometimes they want to be told what to do. So in here, it's all, oh, she wants to just feel and be understood and all.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, but not all the time. So a man has to understand both these sides, and he cannot just say, oh, here's the box. I'll put this woman in this box and she'll stay in this box. No, she won't. She needs drama. She's going to want to experience other things. Women are variable. They don't stay in one place. Their emotions go here and there. And sometimes she wants one thing, sometimes she wants the other. And so there is some truth in this article, but it's misleading.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, sometimes a woman may want an effeminate guy because she doesn't want the opposition at that time. She wants the comfort. She's in her feels.
Yeah.
She's not in her tingles. She's in her feels. When she's in her feels, yeah, she can have some tingles, but the dominant is what really triggers a woman's tingles.
Well, we are talking about the effeminate men who are using women's emotions and feelings to get to women, right?
Oh, it's a
Well, so these men could be all ripped and muscly, but if they know how to manipulate women based on their emotions and feelings, they can sleep with a lot of women. So and
right.
they can look with appearance as a masculine man.
Right. They can do that,
Yeah, and this is what
but
could
it's
be
like that.
very misleading.
But she's trying to say that connects them to their femininity more. I'm like, no. Like Steve is saying, yeah, you have the birth control issue, which absolutely has screwed them up. Then you have not only the nature issue, that the natural issue through the hormonal birth control, but they're raised to be a bunch of feminist boss bitches who are told to be masculine, right? So men are told to be feminine these days, and women are being told to be everything that a man used to do, basically. And, you go, girl, you do all that, you be a boss bitch, you don't need no man, et cetera, et cetera. And usually when a woman's like that, they also have a circle of friends around them, of course, and those friends are not going to get them connected to their femininity because they're pursuing the same shit.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you guys 100%. It's just that the article shows how a woman thinks, especially a delusional woman. Okay. And then they say, while it's true, most gay guys are a negative influence on women. He says here that women enjoy hanging out with gay guys, while gay guys could be negative influence on women, encouraging them towards dark, feminine, promiscuous behavior. It's also true their open energy lightens women up. So this man, they have open feminine energy. It lightens women up. They talk about emotions and help her pick out clothes, tell her she looks hot. Basically, simp.
Yeah.
Right? Gay guys are huge at building up a woman's self-esteem and making her feel sexy.
True.
He's
Two words
Stevie,
come to mind.
Uh-huh.
There's a lack of two words in here: boundaries and discipline.
Yeah.
Is the effeminate man going to impose any boundaries on her? Does he have any boundaries himself, or is he in a meet her needs, affirm her, whatever? So his boundaries don't matter, and he's not imposing any boundaries on her. Okay, and discipline. There's no mental discipline. No, this is how I should act. This is how you should act. There's a discipline implies hierarchy. And I'm okay. For those of you who haven't watched this before, when I say discipline, I mean it's not the same as punishment. It may not even include punishment. It's self-discipline. Okay, when you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning because you got to be to work at 8, that's discipline. That you're doing what needs to be done, even though, oh damn, I'm tired, I want to sleep more. No, you get up because that's the discipline that you've imposed. So discipline is not a bad thing, but the effeminate man is not affirming her need for discipline and boundary.
Of course not, Steve. He has a different purpose. He wants to fuck her, and he will appease to her delusions and her feelings as long as he gets what he wants.
Oh,
exploitation. Look at this one. Exploitation, right. Look here. Don't worry. I'm definitely not saying you should act gay, but it's important to understand why certain things work. A musician might look and act super effeminate, but he gets women because his ability to tap into emotion makes her feel sexy. The more feminine she feels, the more you can open her up, quite figuratively and literally, and the more attractive she will be.
At that time, okay, you can bed the woman, you can get the woman, but can you keep the woman? Or even, does that man want that woman long term?
Exactly.
Is she an exploit or a keeper?
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I love it. Is she an exploit or a keeper? And then masculine guys often struggle with this. They operate as a point of contrast for a woman, which is different and exciting and can make her feel more feminine as a result. but there remains a sense of misunderstanding and foreignness, a lack of understanding of her world, and an inability to get her to go deeper into her femininity. This is just crap. I'm sorry, but
There we go.
they can
Tell us what you
express
really think.
they can express dominance, but they lack the seductive element. What kind of crap is this? Anyway, guys, I did bring it up to you so that we could look into the like how
Okay.
women,
Who wrote this? Was it a woman who wrote this or an effeminate man?
I'm not sure.
I think was that Pat Stedman?
Pat Stedman, yeah.
Is he the one that's January 6th stuff that I think I've seen him somewhere in the manosphere.
You saw him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I think
That's the
Ryan
guy.
Stone has got him on a few.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I just
Yeah, okay.
it showed up, and then I read it, and I tend to read a lot of articles, and yeah, I decided to bring it up to you. So yeah, Pat Stedman, he's a man, and he probably has a wife too. I was just.
I think he is married. Yeah, yeah. I think he's in
He's
jail or
attorney,
prison right
former
now.
legislator, born 1964,
I could be wrong.
from Colorado. If this is the same Pat Stedman, I don't know.
Well, there's one. Patrick Alonzo Stedman, 35, might be 36 now. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's a different one.
For January 6th. And that's the one that Ryan Stone, I think, interacted with, or has a little
There's more than
his
one
little love
Pat
cartoon
Stedman out
thing.
there.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're getting the wrong one, I apologize. No malintent purposes.
Yeah, guys, if you
Right,
find, let us know
exactly.
in the comments, okay? I didn't have time to look for the author. So yeah, but you can see, right, how like the authors, and it's not the first article that we've been analyzing. We also looked at other ones with the yoga community a while ago. They are written by the delusional people who have been brainwashed to think in a certain way.
Well, everyone's looking for the single answer to understanding women. There is no single answer. There isn't. You try to put women in a box. Nope. They're gonna be something else later. We the Manosphere talks about the Madonna horror complex. Okay, well, that's kind of the same thing. Sometimes she wants the purity. Sometimes she wants the raw sexuality. So to say she's one or the other is baloney, because she's both, but not at the same time.
Yeah. And then also saying to guys that you need to understand women more and better. And yeah, those guys, they understand women. And this is what women love about them. Because, oh, this guy gets me, Unlike that masculine asshole who doesn't give a crap about my feelings and emotions, because he would hold me accountable and he would put boundaries on me and place standards. This guy, he just gets me. Yeah, right. I'll spread my legs with him. Okay, I'll be friends with him.
Yeah, well, there's two types of game out there. Well, probably more, but let me just bring up two categories I just thought of. Asshole game and sympathy game.
Sympathy.
No. I think it's I think you got to go primarily with the a-hole game, but you can throw the little sympathy nuts and, little berries, along with it
Okay,
every once in a
well,
while. It's a little dance. It's like a dance,
okay, Nick just revealed his nature.
Uh,
Nick is not in touch with his feminine side.
Right, Nick.
well, that's they're all in their emotions, so it's like.
Well, but it also, guys, when women say that, oh, this man is not in touch with his emotions and his feminine side, they say that they want this man who would understand them, who would worship them, but like not in a direct way how Sims are doing it, but like just get her, like get what she's feeling. And then these men, they don't have frame. They sacrifice their frame because they want to appease women. They still want to. It's a different kind of appeasal. Like it's not like sympathy, right? When we see like the guys drooling over girls, right? But it's a sneaky one, I would call it, because men understand the psychology of women, and then they're like, oh, all I need to do is just act a little bit like a woman so that she would open up and I could have sex with her.
So it's like it's being the sneaky, fucker, the sneaky
Mhm.
fucker, but directly being the sneaky fucker.
Oh, sneaky fucker game.
Yeah.
But you're not like trying to like not debate like not like the beta game where you're just trying to be, oh, you're so great, and oh, trying to befriend them, and eventually think that you'll build her up enough trust and friendship that she'll want to sleep with you. No, not that sleepy fucker game. I mean,
Yeah.
not sleepy, a sneaky. But
Sneaky fucker.
yeah, but internally, you're trying to get with this woman, and so yeah, you're being a sneaky fucker by using her own shit against her, but you're being direct about it, and that's probably a turn on for them. So
Well, not even direct, but
I know
I
what
would
you're
say
trying to
that
do.
it
Come
feels
on, they're not that dumb.
it feels like it's indirect, and that's the thing with women. Like if you are too direct, like the betas, they obviously like as a woman I would view it that way, right? If a guy is just like drooling, I'm like, okay, simp, I'm not interested, total beta, whatever, no. But if a guy knows how I feel or how I think, then that guy could be a sneaky one, because he does it indirectly. And I think this is how they do it, and this is how they get most women to sleep with them.
Well, you're talking about direct versus indirect game, but indirect game is still direct. You still approach. You still
Uh-huh.
interact. You're not trying to subtly build. No, you're being direct, but you're indirect. You're being indirect about your directness. You're playing their game.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, to further explain, you're not telling her directly, oh, you're so beautiful, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Okay. But she wants affirmation from you that she is attractive.
Right.
So you kind of make some side comments. You recognize it, but you don't say it directly. You tease her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just understanding woman. That's not necessarily bad. You can use that and not go sleep around with women. You can use that on your wife, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guys, women don't think rationally or logically most of the time. They think emotionally. And emotions vary. So you got to give them some variability, some up and down and up and down. Because if you don't, or if you don't flow with that, they will create it. They need that variability. That's just reality. You're not going to solve things once and for all. Okay, We got all our dynamics settled. I can relax now. And you know what? I can bring home my paycheck. I can get laid. We can, build for our future. We don't have to deal with all this emotional variability. No. Doesn't work that way.
Luke Perry here. Great to see you, Luke. Thank you for joining us today. Steve Harley is a sneaky baiter. Yeah. I mean, okay, how would a masculine man react to her variability? Like, let's say a woman wants these waves up and downs, as Steve was saying. How would a masculine man approach this disbalance versus the effeminate man?
Well, there's two different categories. No, most men are not effeminate. They might not understand women. They're caught in old order understanding. I think Rollo calls them the AFCs. Average
Frustrated chump.
chump. And you can have a frustrated chump who's not even average, by the way, and he's still frustrated because he does not understand this dynamic. He's never been taught.
So the most men who just refuse all of this game and they just want, a reasonably traditional life, let's say, they are not playing the game.
We didn't know there was a game.
They don't know the game.
There's an old word that comes to mind: bulwark. BULWARK. What is a bulwark, Nick?
That's a strong defense. It's a barrier.
Okay, so here's another analogy. There is a strong rock cliff right up against the coast, the ocean. The ocean waves are coming in and crashing against the rock, splashing all over. Sometimes, it might be calm out there, but then it gets stormy and the waves are crashing. That rock doesn't move. Waves can do whatever they want. So, to a male-female analogy, the man who moves to her emotions, who reacts to her, is not acting like that strong cliff, that bulwark that he's not control. The cliff doesn't control the waves. The waves happen. Okay, but there's that solidity you're not controlling. You're allowing her to do whatever emotionally, but you're not moving. That, in some way, brings security to the woman. Would you agree, Elena?
Yes, and I would even expand on that.
Call it the oak tree. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'll still remember.
I think in the RP space we also call it the oak tree. So the oak, it's rooted, but it can withstand so much, but it can move a little bit, but it's rooted, it's strong, so it can interact with all that's going on. It can move, but it still stands firm.
So
that maybe is a better analogy.
What I notice is that in the RP, I see the guys who are moving, who are reacting to female emotions. Like a woman, like she says, like, I want this, I want that, and a man is like, well, okay, you can get what you want, or they are willing to listen. They are willing to listen to women, and if you want to fuck a woman, right? Instead of staying rock solid, I would actually say like those guys who don't know game, they are more solid. Those guys who don't use game to fuck women, they could be more solid just because they are not pursuing what the guys in the manosphere are telling them to do.
I still think they have game. They're just using that rock solid game not to be overly influenced rather than the pandering game.
I see. Also, it's still a game. If they stay solid, it's still a game, right?
Well, they had to learn that. And in order to stay solid, they have to, most men have to either naturally know about women's emotional variability or they have to learn that. And they have to accept that. So, therefore, they're still using some rules or some behaviors they've set up. And, when man meets woman, the attraction, it's always kind of a game. It's a back and forth, testing each other out, seeing if you fit, seeing if you can live with each other. It is kind of like a game.
Right.
I don't see any way around that.
A different kind of game. It's a different kind of game.
I'll give you something that I've observed in church versus non-church guys. You'll have the regular guy who's been raised, he's a masculine guy, right? He might not understand all the ins and outs of the game, but he's got his own frame of reference. He's firm like a rock. It doesn't mean he's an asshole. I mean, all the time, no, but doesn't mean he's domineering, no, but he's dominant. And you take the same guy, right? Does raise this way. Then let's say the woman is a Christian, right? She convinces him to go to church. He becomes a member of the church. I don't know. He could believe or not believe. Either way, he's going to church, right? What happens is now she uses the manipulation of the church and the false teaching that they're doing to slowly erode his firmness. It's a slow rot that takes in, like, say, if he's a stump, a tree trunk, right, firmly rooted, there's a rot that begins to develop over time. We can also call it a betazation by 1,000 concessions, but also by the sisterhood that he permits, the elders of the church and the false teaching, and just the whole gayness of the freaking worship to begin with. He becomes this sensitive guy. Oh, he's a Christian now. Then before you know it,
Yeah.
he's done.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain how it should be. Man, okay, this is in the Bible, right, Nick? Man is the glory of God. Woman is the glory of man. Man, therefore, takes his instructions, moral instructions from God, and he instructs the woman. There's a hierarchy. She was not created to be the interpreter of morality for the man, the mediator between God and man. That's not the woman's role. But
No.
a lot of Christian women think that that's their role because they're more spiritual. So they love God more than he does. So they need to take what God means and explain it to the man and change his behavior to be more what she and God wants, because she's on God's side and he's on the devil's side.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a great point, Steve. Yeah, I was actually preparing the show for statistics and analysis, guys. I have the data, but I was trying to summarize it, and I even brought up the phrases there that my connection with God is so much better than yours. A woman talking to a man. So,
Oh, I was raised in church. I know better than you.
yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm having I'm having multiple thoughts here.
Oh, you're becoming schizophrenic after talking to us?
I think so, a little bit. Okay, let me start with one. I see, and it's not an attack to individual content creators out there in the manosphere, but I'm just challenging everyone and everything I hear. Can't help myself. So I see in the manosphere we have people who saying that, okay, money muscles game, right? Learn how women
That's
work,
fine.
right? Learn
Yeah.
how women
Yeah.
work so that you can basically ban women, right? You acquire some body count there, and then if she's a good chick, then maybe I don't see the emphasis on like okay, how to find a woman for long-term relationship so much in the manosphere as like, okay, if you want hookup, you can get chicks. Basically, how to get chicks, and
I'll,
that's the only
I'll push
goal.
back on that. Some of the red flags are purposely designed, geared towards LTR, so long-term relationship. Because a lot of these red flags, they say, throw them out the window, just use them as a plate if they don't add up to your criteria.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with using them as a plate, and if they don't add up to your criteria, I think that's wrong. But they do give things to look for and things to look to, women to avoid red flags when considering an LTR. So I will push back.
Okay.
True. And I agree with that. But I think what Elena's getting at is, okay, there is red pill stuff on red flags, which means vetting a woman for a
Right.
long term, for marriage. But they don't adequately address, okay, now you got her. She's a good woman, decent woman, promising. How do you keep her? How do you, okay, once you've vetted her, there's kind of an underlying idea of, oh, okay, now you got a good one and you don't have to worry about it. Not really.
No.
You still have to maintain her and keep her and recognize the things that are going to happen in her head, in her behavior, and maintain attraction. Keep your dominance up so you don't have a dead bedroom. You know, that maintenance or ongoing thing, that's difficult.
It is
It's a lot of
difficult.
work.
Yeah.
I think like in the old blogosphere days, and I think Dalrock used to address some of, we call this LTR or married red pill, correct, Steve?
Yeah, or married game.
Yeah, I mean it's out there. It's not what's popular right now. Although Ryan Stone does have some stuff on married red pill, long-term
Good.
relationship stuff.
Well,
So
please
There's a
somebody.
book on this. Have you ever heard the term or heard of the guy Athol K?
yeah, he's got like a
Yeah, he
married sex
wrote a
partner or
book,
something.
Married Man's Sex Life. I
Yeah,
think that's the
yeah.
name of his book. You know, he had some good stuff. He was a major contributor to the blogosphere or the manosphere back in the day. He has some good stuff. I'd say it's consistent with Christianity. He started out as a Christian and then kind of gave that up. But I still think most of his stuff is pretty solid. You know, he delves a little bit into the dread stuff, but that's not entirely wrong either,
Yeah.
depending on how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
It's to inspire interest in women. So yeah, a little bit of dread is actually healthy for even
Because,
for long-term
okay,
relationships.
let me put it this way: with dread game,
Mm-hmm.
your woman will be more attracted to you if you are high enough quality that other women are attracted to you.
Yeah.
If you're a guy that no other woman wants you, maybe you're not worth having.
Yeah. No, women need this constant reminder that they can be replaced, and there are other women that are interested in this guy. That this is how it raises value of a man that she's with, you know. If a man is just, it's another problem with the simpage and the beta men who are only comfortable and for financial provision. They worship these girls, and the girls don't see that anybody else is interested in this man, because these men are so hyper focused on one girl. They have this one-itis that Rollo describes in his book, that they can't even consider any other girls. And this is actually very off-putting, especially, yeah.
It's crippling because it makes
Well-
the woman his frame of reference, and there's pedalization.
Yeah.
If she gets to the point where she believes you are so devoted to her
Hmm.
that you will not leave no matter what she does, and she has the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, knowing you're going to stick around.
Yeah.
And if it's so, actually, you're putting her in the power position that her behavior doesn't matter, but your behavior does. No, that's the wrong dynamic.
Hmm.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, I was you were making some noise. Are you all right, Nick?
Oh, I just had a sneezes and
Oh,
that's
that's okay.
suddenly for a second.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, okay, guys, I wanted to show you something else here. Okay, let's look at the toxic masculinity on the DSM-5. So all of the traits that you were talking about, that masculine men should have, they're considered toxic. Okay, and then this kind of message is being pushed to women. So women now interested more in, like, oh, a man with his feminine side who understands me, you know. So let me add this one here. Hold on a second. So I hope you can see it. It's straight on Google, guys. You can Google it and you can see what toxic masculinity is. So the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, doesn't include a specific diagnosis for toxic masculinity, but it does include diagnostic criteria for PTSD. Toxic masculinity is a social construct that refers to the way men are pressured to behave in accordance with traditional gender roles. So basically,
So the APA is a piece of shit, basically.
yeah.
Okay,
These
let's put that.
these roles.
Feminist pieces of shit that got taken over by feminists. Okay.
Yes, yes. Well, so, as the psychology is today, you know, these roles can have negative impacts on men's mental health and lead to unhealthy behaviors based on female standards, of course. Some
Yeah,
characteristics of toxic masculinity include, watch these, guys, power. Men are only worthy if they have power, money, status, and influence. Wow. So basically, what it says that we don't want powerful men who have money, who have status and influence, but this is bullshit.
Yep.
Toughness. Men should be physically strong, emotionally callous, and aggressive. So what it tells that we want emotional pussies here. We want emotional tampons. We want effeminate men. Then anti-femininity. Men should reject feminine behaviors like showing emotion and accepting help. No, now we have here emotional men, emotionally available men who show compassion and who understand.
No, it's not wrong to show emotion as a man, but to be controlled by the emotion is wrong.
Yeah, but
and it's not wrong to ask for help if you actually need help, but not to be a dependent pussy.
Right. It says here, men should reject feminine behaviors. So traditionally, yes, that would apply. Men should reject feminine behaviors. But in today's world, you look at it, it's bad. It's viewed anti-femininity. This is how they describe anti-femininity. It's viewed as bad. So if a man is not emotionally available, if he doesn't have emotional intelligence or whatever other crap that they want, it's bad.
Yeah, okay, that term emotionally available.
Mm-hmm.
Men never use that term. That's some definition that women just made up in their own mind. He's not emotionally available. Has a man ever said, well, my woman isn't emotionally available? He doesn't have a clue what that even means. Because maybe you can explain it to me. What is emotional availability?
Well, from what I understand, he's just your emotional tampon. So when you need attention, he's there for you. He helps you to overcome your traumas and all of the feelings that you are having. You basically become his priority. From what
Okay, when we say emotional tampon, he's supposed to absorb her emotions.
Yes.
And then feel what she's feeling because he's absorbed that.
Sure.
Yeah, count me out.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, then look, guys, here. Research
That means you're not empathetic enough. That's another
right.
thing.
You are
Okay.
lacking your emotional intelligence. Steve, where is your emotional intelligence? Go find connection with your feminine side. Yeah. And then look here, guys. Research suggests that men who adhere to traditional masculine norms are less likely to engage in healthy behaviors. They're basically shitting on traditionalism. They're shitting on patriarchy. For example, men who adhere to traditional masculine norms are more likely to. Okay, this is the reasons why they don't want men to behave in a traditional way. Avoid preventative health care. Oh my goodness. Then engage in risky health behaviors like heavy drinking, tobacco use, and avoiding vegetables. Seriously?
Hey, our past president, George Bush, H.W. Bush, he did not like broccoli. So there you go.
Right.
I'll admit it's not the highest priority grocery I get.
Well, it's
like
pushing
my
the vegetarianism and the veganism here. You see, like a man who doesn't eat vegetables, basically a man who is not a rabbit. Okay, he's a bad man because he loves meat.
Okay, just yesterday, I was listening to NPR, National Public Radio, and they were going through global warming and how Americans eat like, I don't know, twice or three times the beef that other countries do. Do you know who the biggest culprit in America is? It's men. Men eat beef. And beef, the growth of beef with cow farts, has a detrimental effect on global warming. So global warming becomes a gender issue because men prefer beef, and that creates cow farts, which destroy the ozone layer and lead to climate change.
What?
Holy shit, literally.
Okay, these climate people are just out to lunch. Okay?
What a load of cow shit.
Yeah. And then lastly, guys, the last point here. these men who have the masculine, traditional masculine norms are likely to be negative about seeking mental health services. How do you like that?
Okay, I fully agree with that, because mental health services are mostly just propaganda bullcrap.
Yep.
Right. But you would only view it that way if you were a masculine man. If you were an effeminate man, you would actually prefer the chicks who have these psychology or psychotherapy degrees. There was a show, Donovan Sharp did a show yesterday, and there was a girl. She was such a bitch. Oh my gosh, she had no smile on her face, nothing. She was just rigid feminist. And the guy who was raised by his grandma, you know, he had the game, he knew how to talk to women, he knew how to dress, so all of the chicks kind of wanted him. But this feminist, out of all of them, like all of them are promiscuous women, right? But there was one girl that we thought that he would pick, and he would be smart to pick her, and he didn't pick her. He picked this girl who has credentials, how he said she could challenge him. She has degree in psychotherapy, you know, so she's a licensed yeah, a licensed psychotherapist, and she has severe mental issues. She's just like you know.
Okay. Do you not understand why that makes sense?
That he picked her.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. Why would he pick her? Let me see if you can come up with the answer.
Well, he's an effeminate man, and I did call it out. I did say that,
Okay. So how was he raised?
like a defective girl.
Yeah. Did he have a father in his life?
No, and you could see that.
Okay. So he was raised without a father, probably with a strong opinionated, a strong independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he can know that sucks. He can know it up here. But his experience is this is a normal relationship. People are comfortable going with what's normal to the way they grew up. It's familiar. Oh,
Familiar,
yeah, I know how. Okay, it's unconscious, but no, you've seen this all the time. People recreate the marriage dynamics of their parents.
That's so true.
So instead of choosing the sane woman, he chooses the crazy woman who is similar to his mother, and then they will have the same kind of relationship or dynamics, whatever you want to call it, that he experienced when he was growing up.
She wasn't even that interested in him. She, when they picked, it was Pop the Balloon show. So the host was in the middle, and then this girl kept negotiating, and she doesn't have a stable home, and like all of these conditions, and he's like such a sucker. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let me add something to that. If a young man grows up with a mother, he puts him in the husband role of he is responsible for meeting her needs and making sure she has what she needs. For he is in the role of saving her from her fucked up reality. Then later on, he meets a woman who has a fucked up reality. Oh, I know that role, Mr. Savaho. I can come in and I can do that fixing. Okay, I understand this.
And like the problem I see today is that even if there are a few women, decent women left out there, I always want to hope that there are a few men with their upbringing, they're not going to see them. They will pick these rigid German shepherds, you know, the crazy out to lunch, delusional, toxic, entitled bitches, because this is how
What do
they
you have
behave.
against German shepherds?
Well, it's a metaphorical expression. It's from Donovan Sharp. He was using it. It's to describe women, their character. You know, they will pick these out to lunch chicks. They will not pick the decent girls because they were raised by single mothers without the presence of their fathers. They don't know how to behave in a masculine way. They are so effeminate that they want a masculine woman who will overpower them, who will dominate them.
They don't want it. It's just that's familiar.
Yep. It's
can't
path of
resist
least
it.
resistance.
Yeah. Can't resist it.
No, path of least resistance. It's
Path of
easy. It's
least-
familiar.
Yeah. Mhm.
They know that lane. They
Yeah.
know that route. They know that road. Well, so they think.
Well, fathers are important to guide their sons and teach them how to be men. Yes, you can find all the truths in the Bible. That's not what the Bible is for. The father is there to instill this belief, code of conduct, discipline on the son. You can't just learn it from reading the Bible, although the Bible will affirm these things. So, and you know what? The father is important for the upbringing and the training, all
Mhm.
that discipline of daughters as well.
Yeah.
And so people grow up or continue as their training when they were young. So if you were trained by a single mother, you just don't have this level. You don't have the father's influence. And yeah, I'm going to just say it. You are deficient in that area. Does that mean it's hopeless? No. You need to first recognize the problem. And there are older men out there who you can form a friendship with, kind of an apprenticeship. And there are a lot of men because it's not a special thing. You learn something, then you become a master and you practice it. The next level is to become a teacher.
Yeah.
It's a natural evolution in men. And I've experienced it. Okay. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was a dumb shit. I didn't know stuff. Started to learn and practice it in my 40s and 50s. Okay. Now I'm soon to be 62. Now it's time for me to move into the teacher position and pass down my knowledge to younger people. It's my legacy. And that's a natural evolution of men. So it is possible to find some old fart like me who can actually understand, if you're a younger guy going through the stuff, you know what? He went through that. He screwed up royally. And he learned from it. And now he has a more calm presence. And he's willing to listen. He's not going to judge you because he'll just laugh and he'll tell you stories about the dumb shit he did when he was your age or younger. And, chances are some of the stuff he did is actually worse than what you did.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So what you're saying,
all these guys need to also reconnect with their fathers if they're able to. And maybe they might hear another story they never heard before, and the lights might start turning on.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, you know that personally, right? I mean, maybe not to a big extent, but your parents are divorced.
That's right.
And the the story you get from your mother
It's not the same story
is
I get from my
different
dad.
the story that you get from your father.
Right.
And the more time you spend with your father and understand him, it actually fills in some missing pieces. And
Mhm.
as you get older, you can actually understand him better now, right?
Oh yeah, all the crap I railed against when I was a young Christian man, and trying to do the right thing, trying to be a godly man, and I was listening to the stupid idiots in church. Dang, the advice he gave me was spot on. Spot freaking on. I'm like, damn, Dad. Shit, you told me and I didn't listen. He's like, I know, son. I
This is
said, I
how
can't
it
save
goes.
you. I couldn't save you, but I was just trying to help.
Yeah, and usually the problem is that in our society, the fathers are so irrelevant, because like everyone is so focused on mommy. Don't piss off mommy, because if mommy ain't happy, nobody is happy, right? And then guys and also girls, how many women are actually listening to their fathers? But okay, let's admit here that a lot of fathers are going to be effeminate because you
Okay.
can't you,
Well,
you can't avoid it, right? They probably
yeah,
won't give a good advice either, but still, how many women listen to their dads?
true. Now, look, let's use Elena as an example. This is information that's out there. Okay, she's also, her parents are also divorced. She wasn't always around her father. I mean, she had a relationship with him, but once she got married to Plutarch, he actually says, no, you have to get closer to your father, interact with him. And she did. And then she found out his side, and her relationship vastly improved with her father. And she started taking guidance from him. But okay, in addition to that, Elena has interacted with other men like RP Thor, who he's, 61, about my age. I'm 61, soon to be 62, about the same age as her father. He gives her good advice. So she accepts him, puts him in the fatherly role. And we've previously talked about that. Elena and I kind of have a father daughter type relationship. So you don't just need one father
Mm.
or one old man advisor. Okay, it's not a one man role. You can have multiple. You learn from multiple people.
Yeah,
And this is just natural.
yeah.
So,
And George
for
Bruno.
those of you listening, whether you're man or woman, yeah, seek the counsel of an older man, because you know what? The key is they want to help. They don't want or need anything from you.
Mhm.
And so I can tell Elena things that that Nick can't, because I'm old enough that I have achieved the level of I am not seeking anything sexual from you, and that's off the table. Okay, that sounds absurd to say, but when it's there, you're not seeking the same thing that other men are seeking. And that gives you a special role. Okay, go to an older man who has experienced a lot of things, and accept his wisdom, and he will have, okay, we're on pseudo-masculinity. To bring it back to that, you know what? Whatever you're struggling with, there's some older man out there. Most of them have dealt with the same damn thing.
Yeah.
So get the guidance, because you're not going to figure it out for yourself, or there's no need to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention George Bruno. Big shout out to him, because I listened to him a lot too. And yeah, I talked to him. There are quite a few father figures here in the manosphere, and it's always a great idea to listen to to all of them, you know, because you will learn something from each individual person. And even if you don't have a strong father figure, which a strong father, sorry, which I'm not surprised, because most people today, they were raised by single mothers.
So I would also suggest George Bruno. I listen to him a lot and I've talked to him a few times. He's a Christian man. He's not pro promiscuity. He's kind of red pill guy, classy guy. I think he's very worthy to listen to. He's well spoken. He's a worthy man to listen to, and also for how to present yourself to other people, and how to how to dress and other things. He gives wisdom for men. A lot of men who grew up without a father. He's got a whole host of stuff to listen to, and I really encourage guys to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? He doesn't have the typical Christian take on things. Deals with things head on. And he's divorced. He's gone through it. He's had his experiences as a younger man and gained the wisdom from it. And so, yeah, that's the type of guy. Okay, he's not been a saint his entire life.
No.
Probably is. And if you asked him, are you a saint now? He would laugh and say, no, I don't think so. Okay, well, he's got a lot of wisdom. And he's not going to thump you over the head with the Bible. I'll tell you that much.
Right. And he sometimes reads during his live streams. I just, whenever I see him live, I always join and say hi, even if I'm late, because chances are I'm going, like if I have a notebook, I'll write it down, because these are some deep thoughts that he brings. So guys, highly recommend you to follow him. And yeah, I wanted to share with you another study, guys. It's similar to the one that I was talking at the beginning. So let me stop sharing this one, and I'll share another one with you. Okay. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's a longer one. No, not this one, sorry. I have a lot of windows opened here. One second. It's about sexual dimorphism differences on facial perception. See if you might like this one. Okay. Takes me a while. I need to pull up the right one. Okay. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. Now I need to zoom it so that I can read it. Okay.
Nope.
Do we see masculine faces as competent and feminine faces as warm? Effects of sexual dimorphism on facial perception. This is the study that Nick by accident showed to you on Wednesday. So what it does here, it basically tells us, it's a different one, guys, I think.
You might have to scroll down.
I remember Okay, here, let's look at this ones because it also lists different studies that you can look at. How do people perceive others? One of the important cues in people's daily interaction is face. It's proposed that masculine and feminine cues for faces, also known as sexual dimorphism cues, form an important basis for social judgments. Most previous research on social dimorphism has focused solely on perceived attractiveness. However, conflicting results have been found for male faces. Some studies showed that women prefer more feminine male faces, and this is where Steve was mentioning that whether they were on hormonal birth control or not, because this would impact their uh, desire for certain feminine cues in male faces. However, conflicting results, okay, this is what I read, while others showed women's preference for more masculine male faces. The results of these studies were interpreted mostly from an evolutionary perspective. For example, according to the good genes theory of sexual selection, women would prefer masculine male faces because masculine features may indicate healthy genes. At the same time, however, masculine male faces might imply that they are bad fathers.
Yeah, right.
This might in turn lead women to prefer more feminine male faces. Okay, here. Aside from evolutionary interpretations, is there any social cognitive evidence that would allow us to understand these preferences for masculine, feminine faces? For example, does masculine, feminine face preference signal a personality preference for warmth or competence? The stereotype content model uses warmth and competence as two dimensions to deconstruct social perception. Masculinity and femininity also provide important social perception cues for others. Previous research on social behavior and personality traits has showed highly positive correlation between perceived masculinity and perceived competence, as well as between perceived femininity and perceived warmth. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Okay. There's truth in here. So if a woman, okay, let's just say a married woman, married to a masculine man, dominant man, she's highly attracted to him. And she believes he's competent and all that. And now she's not on the prowl for a replacement. Maybe she's more comfortable around more feminine, comforting men because she has her dose of competence and masculinity in her husband. She's not proud. Another woman who might not be totally satisfied with her husband, and she's in her hypergamy and unconsciously looking to monkey branch. Could she be looking? Is she going to look for an effeminate man and the comfort, or is she going to look for the masculine man? So, yeah, okay. Artificial birth control, hormonal contraception has an impact, but where she's at in her mental well-being, in her relationship, probably has an impact. If she's looking to upgrade, not looking for an effeminate man.
Oh,
if
yeah.
she's satisfied, yeah, she's maybe more open to finding an effeminate man for an interaction, not even necessarily a friendship. Not, and I'm not talking about for a hookup either.
Yeah. Well, and if she wants a husband provider and have access to open relationship on a side with other guys, then she probably wouldn't care how masculine the other guys are. right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what a woman is thinking and feeling in her situation at the time. This
Mhm.
this implies that women are this way. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're this way, sometimes they're a different way.
depends on
And
what
there's
they
also
want.
ovulatory shift even in a married and non-married state. So
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there has been research studies. Okay, hold on. There have been several research studies exploring the association, sorry, between masculinity and competence, as well as femininity and warmth, using facial cues. This is something that I was writing research paper on long time ago, but I couldn't find the study here. For example, increasing the masculinity of faces shape led to higher ratings on its perceived dominance and lower ratings on the face's perceived emotionality, warmth, cooperativeness, and honesty. Interesting, right?
yeah.
However, increasing facial masculinity did not increase perceived assertiveness or perceived intelligence. So it's only on a physical level and, well, emotional too. So the increasing of the masculinity of face's shape led to high ratings on its perceived dominance. It's how people view that person, right?
hmm
However, ratings on the face's perceived emotionality and the lower ratings on faces perceived emotionality, warmth, cooperativeness, and honesty. So a masculine face is not associated with emotionality, warmth, cooperativeness, and honesty.
Well,
You know
okay.
why?
Go ahead, Nick.
Part of the reason you can say, you know why, is if a man is dominant and masculine, he's not going to pander her to her emotions as much.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be like the sisterhood. Oh, poor you, always affirming, never criticizing, all up in their feels. And the perceived disloyalty, well, that's competition anxiety. Maybe he could get another woman
Mm-hmm.
versus the effeminate dude. Nah, they don't have anything to worry about.
Right. Because a feminine
So,
dude will be associated with warmth, cooperativeness, honesty, perceived.
so
Not
as a
that.
man,
Mhm.
if I don't really value warmth in a woman, but I want to find a competent woman. That mean I have to go find a woman with a more masculine face to find a competent woman?
That's a logical conclusion. Yeah, that could be the limitation of the study, you know? That's a good point. In addition, both men and women tended to associate masculine male faces with higher dominance and more social boldness. Similarly, increased facial masculinity was found to be correlated with perceived dominance and aggression, of course. Of course. Well, which makes sense, you know.
Is aggression a bad thing?
No, I don't think so. But you saw the DSM-5. Aggression is a bad thing.
Well, it's capacity for aggression.
Right.
Well, and it's a capacity to go after what you want. It's pursuit. Women
Mhm.
value those things, not to be exploited or domineer, controlled or be domineering or abusive. But aggressiveness kind of turns women on, doesn't it? Within controlled aggressiveness. Let's put it that way.
Right, right.
That's right.
Discipline. It has to be disciplined. Yeah. Well, there were people who were presented with masculine and feminine faces and asked participants to judge those faces using BEM sex role inventory, and some other trade words: strong, nerved, sociable. They found masculine target faces were judged as colder and more competent than feminine ones. And see, the study actually mentions that the answers were varying for male faces. Some women preferred the masculine faces, some women preferred the feminine faces in men.
Hey, I have a question that I'm going to ask both of you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have love and respect. So, Nick,
Okay.
for the rest of your life, you have to choose one or the other. You can be respected or you can be loved.
Respect.
Which do you choose?
Respect.
Okay, Elena.
No.
Okay, for the rest of your life, you can either be respected or be loved. If you're loved, you're not going to get a lot of respect. If you're respected, you're not going to get a lot of love. Which do you choose?
That's a tricky one. I would choose love, but I know how would feminists respond. They would say, I need my respect.
No, okay, that's you answered according to the stereotype in the typical desire of men and women.
Yeah.
Men desire respect, women want love.
Love, yeah, that's true.
Okay, go to Ephesians 5. What does it say?
Mm-hmm.
Women, respect your man. Man, love your woman. Okay, gee, the Bible says this. You answered it that way.
Yeah.
So
I know.
keep in mind, every time you think of the motivations of men or women, for women thinking of the motivations of men, you know what? He doesn't really care that much about your love. He wants your respect. He can live without your love.
So
And for men thinking about the wife, you know what? She doesn't really value if you respect her. You should, but he wants to know that you love her.
Right. So coming back to the pseudo-masculine man, do you think they give women the respect or love? That's a question for both of you.
It depends. Which pseudo type of masculine man are we at? Well, I think the effeminate man, the more womanly man, not the promiscuous man. I'm saying put that one aside for the moment, or the machismo man. The effeminate, kind of weak man that I think he's probably way into the respect. I wouldn't say he loves them less, but he's bought into the respect, the simping.
Okay. So this is how women view simping, or some of those characteristics that men have. If a man simps for her, she views it as respect, right? He respects her.
Well, and the man, the pseudo masculine man who wants to fuck her is giving her pseudo love in order to get in her pants, because he certainly doesn't respect her. So in reality, he's giving her neither, because it's only pseudo love, fake.
Wow.
And I don't know. Maybe the effeminate, the simp, he's kind of giving her pseudo respect, thinking it will lead to maybe getting laid because he's a nice guy. Does he really respect her? I don't know. He's trying to get her to respect him by being nice. He's more needy. He's there's a covert contract here. He wants more from her. He wants affirmation from her. A man shouldn't really need affirmation from a woman. Okay, it's nice. I like it,
Mhm.
but I shouldn't need it for my very existence. What do you say, Nick?
Nope, don't need it. Yeah, you appreciate it, but don't need it. Because it's a weakness also. If you're living for the appreciation of a woman, you're making her your center instead of your mission.
Mhm. So none of these effeminate men, as you've discovered, there are different categories of effeminate men. They give you love, no respect. It's pseudo love that women get, or pseudo respect that women get from this man.
True.
Yeah, and look here says, you are the only guy who is nice to me. Maybe we should give it a shot. Says no woman ever, right? Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, women were taught to want this effeminate man because everything we looked at psychology today, DSM-5, it tells women and men, and okay, man, it's bad to be masculine. You're not allowed to express any of the traditional qualities. And then the church pretty much says the same thing, right, Nick? You have to be a servant leader. You can't like only when demanded, then yeah, you should be a masculine man, but not when it's within your nature.
Yep. And there's a big problem now with the younger generation, about my age and younger. They have no interest in, they grow up in the church, yeah, they'll still be Christian, they'll associate with other masculine Christian men, but a lot of them have no trust in the church, the elders, the boomer simps. Yeah, they want nothing to do with them because some of them are waking up and saying this is a bad deal.
Yeah, yeah.
The smarter men are waking up
Yeah.
saying, this isn't a good deal. Yeah, you can still find a lot of men who are just blindly marching to their demise under the cert. It's not women, it's the status quo. It's the
Mm-hmm.
system that they're blind to that. But smarter men who've thought about it say, yeah, something's not right here. This seems dangerous. I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there is one more thing I want to share with you today. Hold on 1 second. I need to find it now.
Uh-oh, her camera got too hot and shut off.
She'll be back.
I'm back. I started also, my mouse froze for a moment. I couldn't do anything. Hold on here. Okay, let me see if it's this one, or it could be, no, it's not this one. Okay, there is another article on toxic masculinity. I don't want to dive into this one. I'll just share with you some pictures of men who, in my mind, were perpetrated into our society through media, through TV, through movies, because we tend to see in the movies what's in real life, right? So let's look at these guys. I'm sure you recognize them. You recognize this guy, right? It's just one example. It's from the Lord of the Rings, Mr. Frodo. Look at his face. Like, I'm going to zoom it here. Doesn't he look like a girl?
He does, but he does have a strong jaw. I mean, a wide jaw. So he's got starts out masculine, but they made him to look feminine.
Exactly.
So he's got aspects of both.
Okay. Yeah, he does have a pretty strong jawline, but the long hair, it's I don't get it. If you have long hair, you are an effeminate man. That's it.
Oh man, you're gonna get yourself into trouble with that one.
Oh, I know.
1 Corinthians 11 says the same thing.
Right, Nick? What does it say?
Yep.
Can you tell us?
Oh, I'll open my Bible. There you go. 1 Corinthians 11. There you go. So you know I'm reading it, not making it up. 1 Corinthians 11. It's towards 10 before they do the Lord's Supper thing. Verse 14. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him, but if woman have long hair, it is a glory for her.
Nick,
I got in trouble for that one. I got in trouble for talking about that in church too. All the
former Christian pastor, why are all the modern images of Christ, of Jesus, showing him with long hair?
I have no idea. The earlier ones didn't. He actually had shorter hair in like the mosaics, some of the mosaics in the early church. So yeah.
So they kind of feminized him to look more like a woman.
That's a theory. It's been said before.
Yeah. Well, let's look at another guy here. This one really has long hair. And I know a lot of girls who were in love with him based on the character. Let me zoom one in so that we can see. Well, let's look here. Oh, he's so cute. Look at that.
He has a masculine face, but he does have long hair.
Well,
so again, it's a little bit of a mix.
Well, it is, but still,
He's got some sharp features, though. The sharp features is a masculine thing.
Right. And this is what made him so damn attractive to a lot of women. Even I liked him, like when I was 10, 11. When was the movie? It's a pretty old movie when we watched it. I was like, oh, because he has the masculine face, but then they feminized it with the hair. So he didn't look as masculine. Like they added the warmth feature to his face. You can see the bigger ones, right? Like I'm trying to show them here. Okay. Yeah. And like I see so many men with long hair today. It's just
see him on the right there, though.
Yeah, like this is a masculine.
Yeah,
exactly. More masculine, more attractive. It's like, why do you want long hair for men? I just don't get it. Unless your goal is to make them feminized and more appealing. To women.
sharp features, cheekbones, jawline. Those are
Yeah.
strong chin. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just, yeah, there are so many. Like even in real life, you go out and then you see like, so many men have long hair. I don't understand this fashion, seriously. It's like you are a man, then be like a man, have male hairstyle, um, behave like a man, no emotional drama, and yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know. Look, we know.
Yep.
And it's I mean, I get it. It's your preference. It's your choice. But you're not going to be perceived by like a masculine man if you have very long hair. I'm
Yep.
telling you, even the chicks who, like, yeah, it's fashionable. It can be a trend now. But come on, you are a man.
So
Yeah.
if you have long hair and you appeal to that side of women that is attracted to the effeminate, yeah, you'll still get laid.
Yeah.
Right. Or
And
it's a sign of rebelliousness. You could also use it that way, and the women can be attracted to the rebelliousness by having long hair. It's a sign of rebellion, but it's still, in the end of the day, it's an effeminate trait.
It is an effeminate trait.
okay. Can you make it work? Yeah, none of these rules are absolute hard and fast. Sorry, there are exceptions to everything. Probably are men with longer hair that still have that masculine presence. And if it works for you, it works for you. Okay. You know, don't listen to me. I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
But the Bible did.
Well, if they claim themselves being Christian, then like it's kind of hypocritical.
No. So like
You know?
the guys can take this on. You know, a lot of guys, the case, yeah, the Bible says that. You know, they might get upset, but you know, they can. A lot of guys, they can, unless they're like one of these like, you know, weird, like with no masculinity at all. They act like a girl and get all frustrated, but nobody cares because you're dude, right?
Right.
But you do the flip side for the women in the church, like I did. All hell breaks loose. How dare you say women should have long hair? How dare you? And their simp husbands come up and start trying to criticize you. I'm like, look, it says what it says, and I said it very.
Right.
I actually
Well,
said it in a very light man. Like I probably could have been more firm in how I said it. Probably should have, but the fact that I said it at all.
yeah.
Okay. So you can criticize a man and give him scorn. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But hell hath no fury like a scorned woman.
That's
Is that what you're saying, Nick?
Oh yeah. And the simps come out in droves, man.
Oh my gosh, simps are not helping anyone. Like they're not helping themselves. They're so short-sighted that they think that, oh, if I'm nice and she will love me more and blah blah blah. But like the woman is subconsciously looking for the guidance, whether she admits it or not. It's irrelevant at this point. They are all attracted to the men who can say no to them. It's biology 101. And then this seems they come in and then they start defending these girls. No, how dare you to say to my wife? Blah, blah, blah. She probably is so masculine in the family that he's like, yes, sweetie, yes, I'll do what you tell me. I'm your slave. She will leave him.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if you act like a white knight and you're going to defend me, lady, he's not going to reward you with any fun time in bed because she's entitled. Remember, she's nobility. Mm-hmm. You're just a mere knight who can be sacrificed for her honor.
You're
okay, now You do not get rewarded when you go out. Oh, I'm Mr. Save-A-Ho. I'm going to come to her defense. Oh, come on. You know what? If you really want to have more fun, smack her on the ass and take her home and say, just chill.
Yeah. Women have more respect for these men who can do it.
Nick is laughing.
There's the truth there.
Yeah. Well, see, for me, I don't just look at appearance, and this is why we are bringing it up to you guys, and also maybe a couple of ladies who are watching this show, because appearance is so misleading. There are so many men who have ripped muscles, very strong body, but they have very fragile frame. They don't behave like truly masculine men, because they are appeasing women, they are trying to make them happy. They could be sneaker fuckers, like we discussed today, right? Or they could be more direct in their approach, but like you have to watch their behavior. Just like a man watch our behavior. His words have to match his actions. If it doesn't match, like I'm having trouble with strong, ripped, masculine men in the manosphere, even who beat into their chest and say, "Oh, we're so masculine, we're so cool," and yet they don't preserve their frame. You know, they listening to harlots, the unworthy, undeserving women who are completely cuckoo, you know, like, and this is your frame, and this is what you're teaching other men to do. When you can't resist, you don't have self-discipline to say no to harlots. I'm not dealing with you unless for recreational purposes only, but then you are promoting more degeneracy.
You know what? Elena can be a very cheap woman, because you don't even have to put a quarter in to get her ranting. You understand the analogy, Elena?
Yes.
Normally when you get someone going, "Oh, who put a quarter in there?" No, you don't even have to spend the quarter with Elena.
Thank you, Steve.
No, what do you call these women? These narcissistic. What you have a phrase for? Tolerating these women. What kind of women are they?
Narcissistic, delusional, toxic. I have all sorts of names for them. Entitled, delusional, yeah, promiscuous.
And so you don't like them tolerating these.
Well, because see, like, okay, it only if they do it, it's creating more hookup culture. It's not creating more long-term relationships. And so it tells men that, well, okay, these guys tell me I should be this strong, and you know, I should focus on myself and use this 3 or 4s. But yeah, we all know that you should use the 3 or 4s for recreational purposes only. Why to waste your time on them? This is what I don't understand. Because then the men, like, with their actions, they look at the guys who do that, and they're like, yeah, but you tell me one thing, but your actions show me otherwise, because you can't say no to these bitches. You spend your time with them. You're obviously having fun with them, and it only benefits the top 20% of the guys who can do that, who have the money muscles game, not so much frame. I'm sorry, I'll die on that hill. So few guys in the red pill community have frame. So few guys in the red pill community have a dominant masculine presence who can say no to these harlots, who can say no to this degeneracy. The rest of them are just like, yeah, okay, it's indirect simping, sneaking fuckers, you know? And this is what really frustrates me.
Well, Elena is an equal opportunity offender, because now she's alienating all the red pill guys. And you know how well she's loved by women for telling the truth to women. You know what? She doesn't have a lot of friends.
I don't.
But you know what? Nick and I were both friends of Elena. We really enjoy these conversations, and we enjoy her passion.
No, I'm just concerned, Steve. I'm concerned about the future, right? I'm concerned about what's coming for younger generations. Because all of this crap, and I did study media, I know how media impacts the minds of people. I know that a lot of people are viewing you know, like, but we don't have cloud, right? We don't have big audience, and it's fine. But like the big role models, you know, they are the public figures. People look at them. People try to be like them, you know? And what kind of role models do we have today? Like how to fuck?
Yeah, okay,
How to fuck horse? Congratulations, guys. Okay, if you do your money muscles game, then the horse will be around you. But it only works if you are the top 10 or 20% of the world male population. If you are just an average frustrated chump, sorry, dude.
Well, you can improve your situation. If you're the AFC, you know what? You get money, muscles, and game. Okay, you may not get into the top 5%. You may not get up into the top 20%, but you can improve your situation. But if that's all you're looking at, hey, well, that's all you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, our show, Nick and I, Plutarch and Elena, if we were trying to get popular and get a lot of viewers, we would give a more palatable message here. But you don't. Oftentimes, you are not liked for telling the truth or being controversial or causing people to think. Because we're not bringing you, we're not soothing you, telling you, oh, yes, you're so right. Oh, yeah, continue. No, we're challenging you.
Mm-hmm.
We're challenging your thought processes. And you know what? Probably a lot of you, the majority of the population, is not going to like us. Oh, well, I can live with that.
Well,
I'm used
because
to it.
people don't like the truth. You know, they don't like to be challenged. This has been my observation. Even
No,
like, come on, but challenge is good. You know, it makes you think, not just about yourself, but also about others, and it should be enlightened self-interest. And I talked to Plutarch about this many times. Enlightened self-interest is different from just pure self-interest. When you're operating with just your pure self-interest, you are not considering how your actions are going to impact others. And yes, I'm holding Red Pill community to higher standard and to, so that we don't, just because a lot of people, they will take all of the observations and say, just because the some people say, oh, just prescriptions are wrong, you know, like those prescriptions, I don't agree with the prescriptions, I like the observations, but prescriptions really suck, you know. Well, maybe there is some truth in that.
Well, we've gone 2 hours and 5 minutes. Thereabout.
Okay.
Let's close this out. So our topic was pseudo-masculinity. And my closing comment is, if you're seeking to be liked by others in your masculinity, if you're a man and you are seeking approval or to be liked by either men or women, that's pseudo-masculinity. You just have to have your own code of conduct and be that oak tree. The wind can blow as hard. Yeah, you can bend and sway, but you're not going to be uprooted. You're going to stand your ground because that's what you believe in, and you're not seeking to appease others. That's my closing statement.
Nick, do you have any final thoughts?
Okay, so I'll stick back to this. Yes. Yeah, there's facial features. Sure. You should be a man on your mission. Yeah, I agree with what Steve said. Man on your mission. A man of potential of don't deny your aggression, but channel it in the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
Pursue your mission. Protect. Yeah, that includes being able to provide if you're married. But don't lose your authority. Don't become a doormat. Don't be the nice guy. And if you think you got money, muscles, and game, yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good basic starting point, sure. But if you think you're a masculine man, you got the money, muscles, game, and you got authority and power, but you think you're just gonna go sleep around. Actually, you're being controlled by your desires.
Yeah.
That's actually a form of being a pseudo-masculine man. Is that your mission really in life? Just to sleep with a bunch of women? It's kind of shitty.
Not.
There you go.
I mean, it's their choice. It's like you can't really tell people what they should be doing, but
I say it's a shitty mission. I have no problem saying it.
Yeah. I agree with you because it's like it just creates more harlots. It creates more degenerate men. It just destroys. Like even if you benefit, it's the short-sightedness of this is just it benefits me at the moment, and I don't care about the future. As long as I'm happy in the moment, I'll do it. So I don't care about my children, what they will have to go through. I think we in the Red Pill can do better than just promoting the harlots and degenerates and just wasting our time on talking to these harlots all the time. It's like, come on. They get the platform, they get everything they want. And then you are feeding into their delusions. You are giving them the space to talk. And then the simps are around them. They still get the independent lifestyle from those simps because you by your own actions. What I'm saying, I'm not against Red Pill content creators, guys, just to make it clear, okay? It's just like I'm challenging this idea of running the big panel shows with harlots because it just creates more delusions. Women get what they want. They come with the intention to get more clout, and you give it to them. Basically, you give it to them on a golden platter. They don't even have to work. They don't have to do anything. I know, like you might say, but saying and acting are two different things. Your words don't match your actions. You have weak frame if your words don't match your actions. These are my final words. Okay, guys.
Okay.
I hope you had fun today. I definitely had fun. I needed to film, Let me share with you our schedule so that you can join us for more activities. Hold on a second. I'm slow today. Here, join us for these deep dive conversations on Saturdays with the Resurgence of Sanity, guys. Then I teach fitness 5 times a week, so join me for the workouts. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, guys, on the Resurgence of Sanity have very interesting discussions for you. They're talking about the narratives on Mondays and the countercultural sexuality on Wednesdays. So, yeah, if you have time, come join us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I think we are done here, right, guys?
We're good.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I actually share some funny stories there. With there is a lot of crazy on Instagram, and I debunk some things there. So it could be fun. Okay, I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. the best place on the internet, the very best by far.